Guys, how you doing? Still doing good? Doing well, doing great,
Awesome.
doing awesome.
Outstanding.
Okay.
The beer is starting to hit. So.
Okay, alrighty. Well, good news. No more pay-per-view.
Let's go!
Oklahoma signs a deal with ESPN. Tell us about
Plus.
it.
ESPN Plus.
Tell us
so
about
wait,
it.
you're saying we don't have to pay $60 to watch Oklahoma beat the dog crap out of Western Carolina or whoever the hell we're
That's
playing?
what I'm saying.
Wow, that sounds like
That's what I'm saying.
FCS East on NCAA.
Yeah.
School of the Deaf and Blind.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell
no
us,
disrespect to Western Carolina fans, obviously.
tell us what it includes.
So, okay, yeah, with the ESPN Plus deal with Oklahoma, it's called Sooner Vision, obviously, if you guys didn't know. Obviously, going to ESPN Plus starts in August, from what I've heard. And you're going to get regular season football games, then the Oklahoma spring game, as well as like the pay-per-view game like we had just previously mentioned. You're going to get, I think it was like 25-plus men's and women's basketball games each year, and then every Olympic event that Oklahoma athletics has. So like obviously like wrestling, like volleyball, track, all that kind of deal. So obviously it sounds like a pretty good deal, and you know, just if you pay for the pay-per-view game every year like a lot of fans do, I know we do.
Every year.
Every year.
We've done it.
Yeah.
And then the spring game off Sooner Sports if we're not there.
Yeah.
Which is another $59, $60.
Yeah. So honestly, in those two games, you're getting probably you're going to make up most of your money, and it's going to make it worth it. And you know, I had a lot of problems like finding Oklahoma games this year. They thought I was in like SEC country or some shit. I mean, which I guess we will be technically in a couple years. But anyway, so you don't have to deal with that anymore with that Sooner Vision. So that is pretty exciting. I know most Oklahoma fans are excited about that. It'll be like the Longhorn Network, but
Better.
and like better product on the field.
Yeah, not as worthless.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, speaking of Texas, how many draft picks do they have this year?
That's a great question, Reed. How many draft picks did Texas have this year? Okay, Nick, I'll ask you this. A, did Texas have less draft picks than Kansas? B, did Texas have 0 draft picks? Or C, did Texas have all of the above?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Just
That's
completely shit on Texas's performance.
Kansas did beat Texas in football again this year.
They did. Second time in 5 years. A 7-game losing streak, the longest since like the 30s for Texas. I don't know. And they didn't have a single player drafted for the second time, like, in a long time for Texas athletics. I think it's just hilarious.
Did you see R.J. Young's rankings? He had like Texas ranked ranked ahead of Oklahoma.
Oh, the post-spring game rankings?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, Texas was like at 4 or 6 or something.
No, they were like at like 8. Oklahoma was 9 or something like that.
Why? I don't understand.
I am honestly convinced that he makes these rankings just to get feedback.
Reaction.
Clickbait!
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But they got Quinn Ewers, so he's like the next Heisman, right? Oh wait, he hasn't like started in a college football game, and he didn't even compete for time at Ohio State. Interesting.
Texas will be lucky to go 8-4.
Yeah, I don't think Sark is it, and from everything I've heard from like players on that roster, they've had a couple interviews, and they've said some pretty condemning things about the culture in that program, and Sark hasn't done anything to make me believe that
it's been that way. It's not even just Sark. You
No,
know?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
been like that, and they run you out of town. They don't even give you a chance to
Yeah,
develop the team.
yeah, they are like they're the
They want
richest program.
instant. They want instant progress.
Yeah, they're the richest program in the country, but they can't, you know, give anyone more than 3 years to figure it out. And like, I mean, honestly, like, what Texas has been in like the top 5 in recruiting classes for the last decade.
Yeah.
Like really, if you think about it, and 0 players drafted, like that's honestly pathetic. So and people wonder why players are going to like Baylor and A&M and things like that. So
Yeah,
it's always funny to laugh at the long.
Yeah, I know that irritates you, but speaking of things that irritate you, what about Cleveland? Baker
Oh
Mayfield.
my god, dude. Okay, so thank you for bringing that up, Reed. That's a great point. I have a bone to pick with Cleveland. Fuck that organization. Pardon my language.
Beep
folks.
that out.
Beep that out. Thank you. Like, okay, so you're gonna go from being 1-31 to 2 years prior to Baker Mayfield being drafted. You draft Baker Mayfield.
That would be yeah.
One win in 2
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
right? If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's pretty ass. So they draft Baker Mayfield, number 1 pick. And yeah, he struggles first couple of years, but also people forget he went through like 5 head coaches and 4 offensive coordinators. And
He was also injured
four.
last year. He was
went-
also
he went
injured
through
last
four.
year.
4.
He went through Hugh Jackson, Greg Williams, Freddie Kitchens, Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, 4 head coaches in your rookie contract. Okay, you're already undersized, and you come into the NFL. You bring this team back up to where they're at least competitive, and then you take them to their first playoff win in like 30 some years.
Since
It's like
I think it was like 1992 or 1994.
yeah, so 30 some odd years, Baker takes them to a playoff win, and I'm on Twitter and I see like I would read Cleveland fans just dragging Baker through the mud, and it's like, okay, yeah, he's not the greatest quarterback in the NFL, obviously, sure, but he's done a lot for your program, and you drag him through the mud, and then you treat him like dog crap, and basically just hold him ransom while you pick up Deshaun Watson, and you won't even like they decreased his value so much because, like you said, he played injured, and that lowered his stock because he didn't have good film this last year. And
Thing is, he could have taken the route, hey, I'm done playing. But he wanted to stick it out for his team and make a statement for himself.
Yeah.
And show what kind of a player he is.
yeah, a tough guy that's
Very
a leader.
selfless.
Yes, absolutely. And so they do all this stuff to Baker Mayfield, probably the most beloved Sooner of all time. And obviously he's pissed, and I'm glad the spring game was a great event for him, and it probably got him in a really good headspace, which I'm happy for. But you take him, you do all that to Baker Mayfield, Baker freaking Mayfield, and then you turn around and you try and get back into the good graces of Oklahoma fans by drafting Perrion and IT and Mike Woods. Like, why? Like, it's just, it pisses me off because, I can't even, I'm so upset right now. It's just, the franchise sucks, and they drag the best Oklahoma player ever, or the most beloved Oklahoma player ever through the mud, and then they go around and try and make it right with the fan, I guess, by like drafting these guys, and whatever, they probably just like their tape and whatever. But fuck Cleveland. That's all I have to say.
2018, Baker doesn't have a bad season. It's his rookie year. He's kind of coming in, replaces Tyrod Taylor. Finished the season 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. 2019, not a good season.
Thanks, Kyle.
There you go.
That's the kind of service you get at the Sooner Saloon right there, folks.
Shout out to those Denver Broncos, right? Anyways, 2019 doesn't have a good season. Okay, that's his worst season of them all. 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. 2020, exceptional. Finally gets it done. Takes it to a playoff game, wins it. They beat the brakes off Pittsburgh, and
They should have beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
yeah,
They
if-
They should have. They had a dead rights, and I'll say it.
If
I'll say it.
Sorensen doesn't force a fumble at the 1 yard line,
Yeah.
the Browns go to the AFC Championship.
100%. With shout out to Dirty Dan, even though he sucked last year. But yes, I agree.
1 yard line, a yard away.
Like the inch line, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's how close it was. And then
I lost a jersey over that.
2021. I mean,
I lost the
he
jersey.
plays injured. It's not really fair to compare this 2021 season. Like, if you're going to go pick him up this season, like, look back to the 2020 season where he's not injured. That's as far as he was progressed. And like I said, 2021, he's injured and the program's down. It's just like, it's really not fair to the guy to go off that. And when he's just trying to do the team a favor and play in good faith and not just sit out, so it's just tough to see.
Yeah. So
All
that's our stance on Cleveland. They're a poverty franchise, and they always will be. And even the best player in all of college football that year couldn't do enough to appease the fan base, and he did enough to get them back to competition level football in the NFL. But
Apparently that's not good enough.
apparently it's not good enough. Yeah, obviously. So
Anyway, Nick, do you have anything?
That's all I got for this episode.
That's all I got. Emerson, do you have anything?
yeah, I would like to say one thing. Some terrible news came out this past day. Rest in peace to Devontae Lampkin. He was with the Sooners from 14 to 2017. He got picked up by the Tennessee Titans. He was a really good player. He played alongside Neville Gallimore for a little while. He was found dead today in an Airbnb in Dallas. Today being Friday, so obviously, once a Sooner, always a Sooner, and the Sooner fan base will remember him with fondness, and prayers go out to him and his family, and hopefully they can get past this trying time for sure. So.
Boomer Sooner, guys.